Okay, welcome everyone. I think we are live, and we're going to get started with this stream. So, what I want to do is talk about a very interesting coding concept. It's called head trash. Head trash in life, but also it comes up in code. So I'm just gonna do this presentation, and hopefully people like it. Like, it helps you with code, or it could possibly help you with other things in life, any technical type things. So that is what we're all about. This is the channel is called Coder Trader, and I want to help people be better coders. But also, half the game is kind of like mindset, right? Mindset, and it's very important to sort of address topics like mindset and like meta learning and things like that. And one of the things that comes up the most is this idea of the head trash. So let's get into it. So head trash, what is it? How to stop the negative spiral and get back on track. Essentially, what happens is your mind turns against you. It's like a self-sabotage thing. It's the first steps of self-sabotage, which is horrible. It's real horrible. So let's get straight into it. We'll go to the first slide here. Okay, so head trash, what is it? Imagine, let me tell you a story. I think it's important to start with stories. So imagine you've got a big project coming up, and what you do at the start of any project, as you should, is you plan this thing out, and then you write tickets. So you write little cue cards or whatever. This is just how you normally do it in software, and you put it in some sort of calendar, whiteboard or dashboard or something, and then eventually, as you start doing things, you'll drag all the tickets from to do, doing, done, right? And you do all the planning, and then you get started. The most important, you get started, right? And you go along. It seems all great at the start, you're on time, but 2 weeks later, what happens is you miss a little deadline. You miss another deadline, and you miss another deadline, and you miss another deadline, and then you sort of not miss the whole deadline, but you're sort of behind. And then this is what happens. All the negative self-talk and things like that start creeping in. Like, oh, I'm not good enough. I'm never going to finish this project. Why even bother? And that's what I call the head trash. All that horrible stuff there. So that is what I define that to be. And now we're going to explore how to fix that. Now, this is going to be based towards coding and coding concepts and stuff like that, but I think it is also applicable in life in general, or even more specifically for technical things like mathematics or accounting, or you've got clients, big projects, or things like that. Whatever. But I think it can be generalized. Okay, let's go to the next slide here. So the real problem. So why does head trash come up in the first place? This is what I propose. So I believe it's because you are feeling stuck. You're feeling stuck, and it means your brain is overloaded. There's just too many things going on at once, and your brain's like, what do I do? 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 And it's sort of like you've got so many things, and you're like, huh. You go, you got so many things going on, and you just sort of freeze. You just freeze. You don't know what to do. So what your brain will do is, because it's frozen, it tries to come up with a logical way, a rational way to get yourself out of doing it. And the first steps are like thinking that you can't do it. So you start sowing the seeds of like self-doubt, and then so from the previous slide, that's when you start saying things like, oh, I'm not good enough, or I can't do the project, or why even bother with the project. But we're gonna solve it. So that's what I propose is going on. That's why all this head trash starts coming about. Okay, so let's just go to some of the solutions I propose for this. So one possible way of getting over this stuff, right, is to track your wins. So I have a book, right? I have a book. I call it the wins book. The wins book is where I write down all my wins for the day. So So this is my wins book, and I put scores right next to them, right? And so what it is I can look back and be like, oh, I did these many things today. I did this today. And it's just a nice thing to look at, because what actually happens, right, in our minds is we look at the past. We look at the past and we're like, oh, we weight our losses more than our wins. And so we remember our losses more deeply than our wins. So we have to make interventions like a win book and be like, yo, actually, I did do all this winning. And you should update it fairly regularly. Now, this isn't just a wins book for my coding. It's also a wins book for just life in general. So today is Sunday. So I actually haven't started the wins for the day. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you an example. So this is the first thing I'm doing here. So I'm not going to count, like I haven't done any work yet. This is the first thing I'm doing. So, but I'm going to write down, what I'm going to write down is like the things I've done so far. The things I've done so far. So what have I done? I've actually done the dishes. I'm going to count that as a win. I'm going to assign it a score of 1, which is just a small win. And then another win was also I got up today and I had a cold shower. That sort of kept me awake. So I'm going to assign that with a win of 1 of the score. And then on the side, I keep track of the score, the running score, the score I have. And yeah, and then I add it up at the end of the week and see how many win points I have, which is really quite a fun game for me, to be honest. So, and then at the end of this, I'm gonna finish the stream. So streaming today, I'm gonna count that as a win. So you know what? I might just put stream there and get ready to write down a number or score by the time I'm done with this stream. Okay, so that's awesome. That's good. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. So the next thing you should do, right, is make a clear plan. So sometimes in life, you just wake up and you're just not motivated to do anything at all. You're just struggling to get up, get out of bed. Motivation's gone. Maybe, I don't know, like you just had a bad night and all your dopamine's sapped and you have no motivation to do anything. So the best thing you can do, right? The best thing you could do is just make the plan. So the way I go about making plans is that you have to pick a point B first. Pick the point B first. So where you want to go. And then you very, 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 very accurately and brutally honestly write down where you are in the world. So if you write down where you are in the world, you can have a very accurate plan. Accuracy is very important. So you can go from A to B. And so from where you are to where you need to go. Okay, so that is the first step in making a plan. That's making a plan. Now, the second step, right? The second step is you need to make little steps between A and B. So you have A at the bottom, B at the top, and you need to draw these little steps. And these steps represent little intermediary goals. And that's all you need. So you can literally accomplish anything you want, right? But you have to be able to map out a plan that takes you from A to B, and then you actually have to do that. You have to do the plan, right? You actually have to do it. And then if you just do the stuff, if you're willing to do everything there, you can actually get what you want. So that's it. That's how you make a plan. And then the next thing, what I find is very important, you need to write definitions of done. So what is the DOD? The definition of done. So the definition of done is just a clear identifier. So yes or no. Have I completed this thing or not? So for example, if you need to write a section of code on healthcare statistics, you say, okay, I need to write this function on healthcare statistics. But there's that. Then we can make it even more specific. So you could be like, okay, I need to write this code on healthcare statistics, but it needs to compile without errors and pass all the tests. So now you actually have a way, you actually say, okay, I have a binary, yes or no. Was the thing I did done? Because did it pass the test? Yes or no? Did it compile without errors, yes or no. And so that just makes you feel a lot more secure having this definition of done in your plan. So when you write those intermediary steps we talked about a little bit before, always include a definition of done so you can sleep at night, right? You can sleep at night and know that whatever tasks you put in front of yourself was done. Okay. So what I'm going to do before I go to the next slide, I'm going to do a little bit of ad work, just a little bit of ad work here. Just so what I do is I have this this school community here. So here it is. It's awesome. It's amazing. So what I do is it's a coding community, and I teach people how to code. And also I have a mindset course coming up here, and it's going to teach you like literally 10 years of all my mindsets, like all the mindset stuff and things like that. So I would absolutely take advantage of this. I think it's free because I'm sort of working out the pricing tiers. So I've like defaulted it to free at the moment, but in the coming days, I'm going to start pricing everything, right? So literally if you get it now, you'll have free lifetime access. Just, yeah, you'll just have that. So it's, so I'll write it in the chat. I'll comment it in the chat. And if you really resonate with some of this stuff, do check it out. So there it is. There's that in the chat. Anyway, let's get back to the slides. So, yeah, let's get back to the slides. Okay, cool. So, I think another very important thing we should also look out for, right, is when you're doing a project, right, you need to separate the strategizing part and the building of the actual project. Does that make sense? So you need to separate like the building and the strategizing, right? So, okay, why do we need to do that? Could anyone actually? I'm going to make this a little bit interactive. If anyone is listening at the moment, please. Why would you possibly separate the strategizing and the building steps of the project? Please let me know. Put something in the chat. Tell me what you think. I'll give it a little pause and I'll get back to the presentation. Tell me. Anyone? Okay, cool. Anyone know? Maybe I can make a poll. Create a poll. Oh, no, it's just yes or no. I don't know. Anyway, anyone know? Anyone at all? No, that's okay. Okay, so do you want to know the answer? Okay, let me tell you the answer. So, what it is because you do not want to be having two things going on in your head at once. You don't want to be doing that. You don't want to have two things going on in your head at once. You want to do, if you're one person, you want to do things sequentially. You want to get the strategizing done and you want to get the building done, because this actually creates more anxiety. If you have two or more things in your head at once, you're sort of like, oh, what do I do? What do I choose? What do I need to do? And so it's better if you just separate those things, right? You just separate them. So strategize, build a plan, make all the tickets, build the steps, do all that good stuff. Then once that's finished, you go on to the actual building, the building of it, the building stuff, right? So, and that will just reduce mental clutter. Okay. So, yeah, because what here? Context switching. So the worst thing you can do for productivity, honestly, is context switching. Smartphones are really good at this. Actually, they train you to context switch like maniacs. So you got to stay away from that. But everything is like context switching. So you really don't want to be context switching. You just want to strategize, do that fully, then context switch, build it out. So just only one context switch in the whole thing. You don't want to be planning, building. You'll just waste way too much time. Just so much time. Okay, cool. Moving on to the next step. Okay, so this is just going to be summary points. Okay, so summary points, right? How to get rid of head trash. Essentially, what it comes from is confusion, uncertainty, and like it's just the criticism, right? And so, to summarize this whole presentation, it was the cure is clarity, structure, and small wins, right? Be clear, make a structured plan, and then write down the small wins in your little win booklet, which is very important. Very important. Okay. And then final thoughts is just, track your wins, make sure you are planning everything. Then once you've done the planning, execute. And then you'll feel like you're making progress. I think the feeling is very important as well. Very important as well. Okay, cool. And the final slide is your mind is your greatest asset. That's true. But it's also our greatest enemy as well. So this presentation was about when it's your greatest enemy and the head trash comes in. And so when it's your greatest enemy, it's really sometimes hard to fight the mind. So you got to fight it in the physical world and write down your wins, make a structured plan, and just make things obvious as to what the next step in whatever process you're doing is to do. Okay, cool. So that's the end of the presentation. I'm just gonna end with a little bit of some ads here. So what I've got is this this school community here. So if you really like this presentation about like the mindset of coders, I have a school community. It's free at the moment, like literally only free today, because I'm working out the pricing and then I'm going to start pricing all these courses here. Oh, so here we've got like, phase 1 bootcamp and then before that I had the AI coding expert course. And I believe if you just, it's free as is, right? I'm still working out the pricing, so get on it. You get lifetime access. But after that, I'm gonna actually like raise the prices so you can get in there. Yeah. So and what I'm doing now is I'm making this mindset course here, right? And it's gonna be sort of it's quite a lot actually. And all these are not just topics; they're like sections, right? They've got each of those sections. So I'm recording the videos for that, and I hope they are insightful. And yeah, and so the thing is, like, I really want to help coders with the mentality and the mindset of coding, because there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of talks about how to do Python and stuff like that, but no one ever talks about like what's going up here in your head to help people with all this coding. But it's not just coding, but it's also like any other technical stuff or like corporate stuff or things like that. There's something about the mind you've got to conquer. And yeah, I really believe that is important. Okay, cool. So I'm going to open it up to questions. Is there anyone with questions or anything? I might stay on for just like a little bit. If anyone has any questions, let me know. I'd love to know if you guys have any questions. Tell me anything at all, anything about these slides. I'm happy to keep it a bit interactive, discuss, anything. Otherwise, I may log off. Anything at all. Let me know. Anyone at all. Anyone. Okay. Well, actually, I make a poll. If you're on the stream, I want to know, did people find this helpful? Did you learn anything? That's a better. I'm gonna put that in the poll. Did anyone learn anything? So start the poll, yes or no. Let me know. Yeah, let me know. Okay, so do we have a yes? I think we have a yeah. How many yeses? Oh no. Okay. Yeah, so is it also, like, just while I'm here, is there anything anyone wants me to cover with anything at all? Anything, any questions? Let me know. Oh, I appreciate the likes. Thank you very much. I'm happy to go over anything at all. I may have to go very soon. I've got to go get some lunch. Gonna have some lunch today, but yeah, let me know, guys. Did anything you want me to reiterate? So what do we go? We went track through your wins. I think that's a important one. So I'm gonna say the stream. The stream's coming to an end. I'm gonna put my winning score here. I'm gonna put that as 1. I assigned that a win score of 1. So I've got 3 today, which is awesome. 2 yesterday. Yeah. So we're all winning. Okay, cool. So did anyone learn anything at all? Let me know. Let me know. Anything at all? Okay. Cool. Okay, so if anyone doesn't have any questions at all, I think I'm going to end this here. But I hope you got some value from it. If you liked it, yeah, get on Coder Trader, and hopefully I can teach you some coding, like the mindset of coding and all that stuff. Hopefully, yeah, I can totally help you out with all that. But otherwise, guys, it's Sunday in Australia. Have a beautiful day. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this presentation.